It wasn't until I learned about skinwalkers that my gut told me that's what it was. 10 minutes of walking go by, and we hear rustling in the trees. We all look up, and Billy jumps out, covered in red, screaming that a snipe got him. All the kids started running and screaming, and me being 8 also didn't know that it was just a prank, so I started running too. I didn't know what direction I was running in, but I sprinted through the woods until I found a tree that had a big bush in it, which I could hide in. I remember trying my best not to cry or make any noise. A few minutes go by of hearing nothing, and I peeked out of the bushes, and that's when I saw it. Something that sort of resembled a dog, except its legs were abnormally long and skinny. Its head looked mangled and deformed, and I remember seeing only patches of hair scattered around its strange body. I had no clue what it was. I saw it walk by slowly, and while I was a good distance away, I could hear faint moaning. I was mesmerized by this thing, in all honesty. I didn't like looking at it, but I also couldn't look away. The more that I stared at it, the more I felt this overwhelming, strange sense of dread. Years later, that's the only way I can describe it. I was so young, I probably didn't understand what those kinds of feelings were entirely. I just remember being in this kind of daze or trance. All of a sudden, I heard my name being called, and the crunching of twigs and leaves in the distance. The creature I was staring at stopped in its tracks and looked at me dead in the eyes. Our mutual gaze was broken by my father grabbing my arm and picking me up, scolding me about running so far and how it was just a joke and that he was sorry. I'm sure a ton of emotions were running through him, but for me, all I was concerned about was this creature. I turned to look if it was still there, but it was gone. As my dad and I walked back to the camp, I told him what I saw and how I thought it might have been a snipe. Of course, he said it couldn't have been, and that was the year that I learned that snipes weren't real. Looking back, I'm not sure what I saw that night. I told myself for years that it was just a really big coyote, but something in me knew that it wasn't, and I didn't know why. It wasn't until I learned about skinwalkers that my gut told me that's what it was. To this day, I have no explanation. It could have been anything. I was really young at that age, so who knows. But even now, sometimes when I'm on bike rides or hikes in the woods, out of the corner of my eye, I can see it again, watching me.